Enough of this running shit. Georgie boy. Oh, what have we got here? Hello?
Set in Prohibition-era Chicago, The Untouchables unravels as a blood-soaked, high-stakes crime epic directed by Brian De Palma. Kevin Costner stars as Elliot Ness, a straight-arrow federal agent on a crusade to bring down the notorious gangster Al Capone, played with sneering, cigar-chomping menace by Robert De Niro. The film is a vivid, operatic tale of corruption and redemption as Ness assembles a ragtag team of outsiders to take on Capone's empire of vice.
If you open the ball on these people, Mr. Ness, you must be prepared to go all the way.
Sean Connery steals the show as Jimmy Malone, a world-weary Irish cop with a taste for whiskey and a nose for trouble. The Untouchables is a stylized, hyper-violent morality play, a gritty nightmare of Tommy guns and cheap liquor. It's a film that revels in the grime and gore of the criminal underworld, a sordid symphony of bullets and booze. It's a twisted ode to the American dream, a reminder that even the most untouchable of men can fall.
What kind of paper we talking about?
Hundreds and fifties paper. We need at least 10 different serial numbers.
How much?
$1 million.
How you gonna use it? What business is that of yours? It's always my business, Mr. Jessup.
To Live and Die in L.A., William Friedkin's 1985 neo-noir thriller drags us on a gritty ride through the corrupt core of the City of Angels. William Peterson broods as Richard Chance, a rogue Secret Service agent on a relentless quest to take down Eric Masters, a counterfeiter and cold-blooded killer played with icy menace by Willem Dafoe. The film is a surreal exploration of debauchery, as Chance and his partner John Vukovich dive deeper into a labyrinth of betrayal and deceit. Gritty and stylized, Friedkin's direction brims with frenetic energy and quintessentially 80s charm.
Now you want to commit a robbery?
I wouldn't call it that.
What would you call it?
Taking down a douchebag who's trying to break the law.
Los Angeles is portrayed as a vast, soulless wasteland where the only currency is power and the only justice is the kind you make for yourself. To Live and Die in LA is a bleak vision of the American dream, gone rancid, a dark neo-noir that lingers long after the credits roll, like a hangover you can't shake off.
Anyway, I was at the hospital this morning, and coming home through the field behind our neighborhood, there behind Vista, I found an ear.
You did? A human ear?
Yeah, I thought I should bring it to you.
If that's right, let's take a look at it. Yes, that's a human ear, all right. Let's take it down to the coroner's office and see what they make of it. Then I want you to show me exactly where you found it.
All right.
David Lynch's 1986 neo-noir masterpiece, Blue Velvet, is a vivid portrayal of suburban corruption, a journey into the hidden depths of small-town America. Kyle MacLachlan stars as Jeffrey Beaumont, a college student who stumbles upon a severed ear in a field, dropping him into a nightmarish world of sadomasochism, drug abuse, and murder.
What are you doing in my apartment, Jeffrey Beaumont?
The film is a Lynchian phantasmagoria, a twisted fairy tale where the monsters are all too human. Dennis Hopper's performance as Frank Booth, a gas-huffing psychopath with a fetish for Roy Orbison, is a tour de force of unhinged menace. Isabella Rossellini's Dorothy Valens, a tormented lounge singer caught in Frank's web, is a tragic figure of bruised beauty and shattered dreams. Blue Velvet is a disturbing, darkly comic exploration of the corruption beneath the picket fences, a surreal odyssey into the heart of darkness. It's a film that haunts like a bad dream, a twisted lullaby for the lost and the damned.
You can stand there with me if you want, but you'll have to agree not to talk about the heat.
I'm a married woman,
Meaning what?
meaning I'm not looking for company.
And you should have said I'm a happily married woman.
That's my business.
Body Heat, Lawrence Kasdan's 1981 directorial debut, is a sultry neo-noir that simmers with lust, greed, and betrayal. William Hurt plays Ned Racine, a perspiring, morally bankrupt lawyer who stumbles into the web of Mattie Walker, a seductive femme fatale with a wealthy husband and a lethal agenda. The film is steeped in a thick, suffocating atmosphere of desire and decay as Hurt and Turner engage in a dance of manipulation and carnal obsession. Kasdan's script is a twisted knot of double crosses and sordid motives, unfolding at a languid, sweltering pace that leaves you gasping for air.
I've missed you so badly. I need you.
Body Heat is a perverse, steamy fantasy of sex and sin, where every touch is tainted and every glance is loaded with malice. It's a film that wallows in the gutter, reveling in the lurid sleaze of depravity. It's a study in erotic nihilism and an unforgettable descent into the abyss.
It's a very weird feeling you're not who you say you are. There's something not right about this.
Oh? What do you mean? I don't know. Like what?
You got cop's eyes.
Cop's eyes.
Yeah, you look at me and I feel like I did something.
Like you did something. Like what?
Al Pacino stars as a jaded, whiskey-soaked cop navigating the gritty streets of New York in Sea of Love. Harold Becker's 1989 neo-noir thriller, pursuing a deranged killer who preys on lonely hearts. Pacino's detective descends into a maelstrom of lust, paranoia, and self-loathing. The film immerses itself in the city's smoky bars, cluttered apartments, and shadowy streets, the kind of places you might find Tom Waits leaning against a lamppost, where desperation permeates every corner and love is just another twisted game. Pacino, with his hangdog face and world-weary demeanor, perfectly embodies this bleak urban landscape, stumbling through a maze of rain-slicked streets, yearning for connection in a world where intimacy is a weapon. Sea of Love is a fever dream of nihilistic eroticism, a sordid tale of obsession and betrayal that leaves a bitter aftertaste and a void in your soul.
This is what the subject's teeth looked like. The Smithsonian in Washington reconstructed these from the impressions that we took of the bite marks on the Leeds woman here and the Jacoby woman in Birmingham last month. As you can see, he has pegged lateral incisors, that's these teeth here and here. All right.
Released in 1986, Michael Mann's thriller Manhunter, based on Thomas Harris's novel Red Dragon, is an intense and haunting exploration of the thin line between hunter and hunted. William Peterson stars as Will Graham, a burnt-out FBI profiler lured back into the game to track down the Tooth Fairy, a savage serial killer with a taste for families. As Graham probes the twisted psyche of his quarry, the film slowly morphs into a sensory overload with pulsing synths and Kandinsky-inspired visuals. Mann crafts an atmosphere of pervasive dread that permeates the film, tension and menace lurking in nearly every frame. Tom Noonan's performance as Francis Dolarhyde is a revelation, an abominable fiend of repressed rage and longing, with a penchant for biting his victims.
You and the others, you owe me all.
Manhunter is a dark, gripping journey into the deepest recesses of the human soul. It's a film that lingers long after the credits roll, a spectre in the machine of your mind.
You left your weapon behind. He'll kill you too.
The Coen brothers' 1984 debut, Blood Simple, is an atmospheric neo-noir oozing with pulpy satire. John Getz plays Ray, a hapless bartender ensnared in a sordid web of lust and betrayal with his boss's wife, Abby, portrayed by Frances McDormand in her screen debut. As the couple's illicit affair unravels, they are drawn into a nightmarish world of double crosses and bloody consequences. The film is a study in slow-burn suspense as the Coens ratchet up the tension with each twist of the knife. The Texas heat is a palpable presence, seeping into every frame and suffocating the characters in a miasma of desire and desperation. Michael Emmett Walsh's sleazy private eye, Visser, is a standout, his sweaty, leering presence a physical embodiment of the film's tawdry, gothic horror-inspired aesthetic. Blood Simple is a bleak, twisted vision of the American dream gone horribly wrong, a chronicle of small-time schemers undone by their own greed and stupidity. It's a film that revels in the grime and grit of human nature, a savage, darkly comic tale that leaves you gasping for air and craving a shower.
Strictly legit. My money goes in my pocket. Yours if you want in. Gonna give you everything you need, kid.
You don't even have to tell me now. Let me know later.
Let you know. Look, what I want to know is why the minute I get locked up with you, everybody knows my business. My house is bugged. My wife is upset. The guy at the vehicle bureau wants a fur coat. There's a cocktail right now a half a block down the street. My car is bugged. Here.
Michael Mann's 1981 debut, Thief, is a riveting heist film that prowls through the underbelly of the American dream. James Caan smolders as Frank, a master safecracker trying to break free from the clutches of his criminal past, only to find himself ensnared in a web of betrayal and violence. The film is a sensory assault, all screeching tires and shattering glass, as Frank navigates the treacherous waters of the Chicago underworld. Mann's direction paints a world of stark contrasts, crafting scenes that seethe with tension and intensity. Caan's performance is a coiled spring of barely contained rage, a man on the edge, teetering between redemption and damnation. Thief is a brutal, relentless vision of the price of pursuing happiness, a scathing indictment of the debauchery at the heart of a materialistic society. Sergio Leone's 1984 magnum opus, Once Upon a Time in America, presents a sprawling, dreamlike vision of lost love, betrayal, and the elusive promise of prosperity. Robert De Niro radiates as David Noodles Aronson, a Jewish gangster haunted by the ghosts of his past, his memories unspooling like a tattered roll of film. This labyrinthine epic takes us on a dizzying, non-linear journey through the hidden depths of 20th century New York. James Woods is electrifying as Max, Noodles' childhood friend and partner in crime, their bond forged in blood and broken by greed. The film's women, from the ethereal Jennifer Connelly to the world-weary Tuesday Weld, are dreamlike figures, elusive and unattainable. Leone's direction is grand and sweeping, every frame dripping with a sepia-toned nostalgia for a time that never was. Ennio Morricone's score is a character in itself, a mournful, elegiac presence that haunts the film's every shadowy corner. Once Upon a Time in America is a melancholic ode to the death of the American gangster, a requiem for a world where loyalty is a punchline. It's a film that haunts like a half-remembered dream, a ghost story etched in the lines of De Niro's face, a tale of paradise lost and never regained.
This country, you gotta make the money first. Then when you get the money, you get the power. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman. That's why you gotta make your own moves.
Brian De Palma's 1983 crime epic, Scarface, spins a vivid, cocaine-fueled yarn of excess and ambition. Al Pacino delivers a blistering performance as Tony Montana,
Antonio Montana,
a Cuban refugee who claws his way up from the gutters of Miami to become a ruthless drug lord. The film is a garish, gleefully vulgar spectacle, awash in a sea of white powder and blood. Michelle Pfeiffer is a vision as Elvira, Tony's trophy wife, a haunted beauty with dead eyes and a taste for self-destruction. The supporting cast, from Stephen Bauer's loyal Manny to Robert Loggia's oily Frank Lopez, is a rogues gallery of hustlers and hangers-on. De Palma's direction is a dizzying ballet of excess, every frame dripping with perspiration and neon. The script, by a young Oliver Stone, is a pulpy, profane delight, a savage satire of the American dream turned sour. Scarface is a shocking portrayal of the devastating consequences of unchecked ambition, a twisted tale of power, greed, and the terrible price of success.